All me.
Hi, Blair, my sister.
Hi.
Um,
Oh, David Queens. Hi.
yeah, David's here. Yeet is here. Roald
Hey.
Dahl is not here. Sorry, that's just a small inside joke. So
A large.
we are we are here for a number of reasons. One, we haven't been live together in a while, and I think we need to heal nature with it. So we're here for that reason. Second of all, we're here to talk about our January pick, which you have the physical copy, and I read it like an a-hole on my iPad. Fiona and Jane.
Fiona
It's
and
gorge.
gorgeous cover. Um, I actually went and bought this one at the bookstore this morning when I got my coffee because I'm not at home, so I don't have my copy. But it felt very, I don't know, it felt very sweet waking up, getting coffee, going to the bookstore to then go live with you.
It's I mean, I probably go to the bookstore. What do you I go you go four I go 4 times a week at least.
Yeah, I'm 3 to 4.
You have a kid now, so it's different.
So I go more. I'm always buying him books now.
That's true. That's very true. Can you I want to start by saying we have this pinned in the comments. Book club, if you haven't checked it out, we do some really cool stuff on bookclub.com. I've pinned this comment because right now you can get, I feel like a telemarketer. Right now you can get a 7-day free trial, but you can actually, and it's a really cool app that Emma and I have been partnering with since July, and we've been doing these really in-depth, highly produced author interviews, and our Fiona and Jane one is on there. I actually did this interview. There's a few of them with me and Emma interviewing the author. So if you haven't checked out Book Club, check it out because it's sort of like
It's like us going live, but more
with better lighting.
more produced.
I was
But
gonna say it's like Netflix if you want to watch people talk about books.
yeah, totally.
So
And Kara did an amazing.
wait, is your sound? Let me see if your sound is out. Hold on. Did you go talk? Uh-oh. Guys, can you hear her? I wonder why it would be out. That doesn't make sense. I wonder if it's mine. Thank you, Pamela, for saying we're fabulous and smart. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I can hear you. I can hear you. Sorry, you went out. Now she's back. Sorry. You were saying something, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Problems you've had recently.
I've had a lot of technical difficulties in this year. This very fresh year has thrown the technical difficulties. But no, what I was saying was that Kara did an amazing talk for the book Fiona and Jane, and in the talk she talks about my favorite topic other than books, which is astrology. It was just really fun to hear Jean talk about basically she.
But also, did Chanel Oberlin have a birthday?
I mean, I'm sure she was a Scorpio. I'm sure of it. But no, I think even writers, by the way, like now I'm wondering all of our favorite writers, like what's their sign? I think that's going to be what my day consists of is looking
Well,
up.
that's what I told Jean Chen. I was like, you need to promote your book, like with that. You guys, we're always like bury the lead. Like that's the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that's an amazing book. I'm like, you just like invented character astrology. I think people do it for like Harry Potter, like huge books, but just like literary
Harry
fiction.
Potter sign.
I'm sure someone in here is going to tell us Harry Potter's sign.
Can someone tell us Harry Potter's sign? Because I must know.
Quickly. I have no prizes, but we will call your name if you say
The prize is let's find out which one of us is more compatible with Harry Potter.
With Harry Potter, not to be confused with Daniel Radcliffe.
No, I'm very specifically talking about the character Harry Potter.
So if any, didn't Cree talk about astrology when she did Black Like Never Left? Yeah, probably. You're probably right. She probably did. So one of the things that I wanted to mention about this book in particular, because I really hope people read it. And now I'm getting like, I was like, I want this to be on the bestseller list, so everybody should buy the book. But the really interesting thing about this book, much like a book we picked a few years ago, right before the pandemic, These Ghosts Are Family, is that it's actually not a novel. It's a bunch of short stories that are linked because Fiona and Jane are friends, and this follows their friendship over 20 years. Harry Potter's a Leo. Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to. Amelia N. Dollars said Harry is a Leo, just Googled. I'm sorry if I missed somebody else saying it, but he's a Leo.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Interesting. It probably would.
Well, also at Bellatrix, we love to pick books about friendship, long friendships, like some other people in this chat.
Yeah. Well, that was my prompt actually for this, because what I was going to, sorry, I'm trying to like get this off, whatever. I can't like get the comments off your face, but
are they're on my, that's not just me that they're on my
no, I'm trying to take them off.
Cool.
Oh gosh. Whatever, we'll figure it out. I think will someone tell me how you take comments off someone's face? So basically what I was going to say about Fiona and Jane is that it starts out, you kind of think that the book is just about Jane, and it's written in the first person. And then all of a sudden, early on in the book, when you enter a new story, because it's not chapters, it's stories, you get Fiona from the third person. And so I was thinking about this thing, because we've chosen a lot of friendship books, but like this is a book that's like friendship as relationship, and it would be like watching the relationship of two people over 20 years. And Jean Chen Ho does this really interesting thing where at least for me, she like made me think about like, what if you, Emma, wrote about me in the first, like, we never think about how our friends would describe us. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so in the book,
I always wonder if I make it into your journal.
That's
right?
actually a good question.
Like,
maybe. Yeah, sometimes.
Do I?
I mean, I don't journal so much as I burn book, but and you're not in my burn book. No, I'm kidding. I write out like, I don't journal like this is what I did today, but like I write whatever. That's a long story. But I was thinking about like, and the book makes you think about like, how do you factor as a character into other people's lives? Do you know what I'm saying?
Totally. I mean, I think about that. So I definitely relate. No, and I love the switching perspectives, because to me, I mean, I'm always fascinated by, like memory. Someone perceives something one way, like the things that when I say, okay, I remember this, like the things that you remember, I sometimes have no recollection of. And the things that I remember, you're like, that's not what happened. So that might be a different example, but
no, I think it's similar. I mean, I think it's similar in the sense of like I'm sure, 90% of the things that happen in interactions are perceived by one person one way and another person another way. And also, I think a lot of us worry about what other people are thinking. And if we went into their head in that given moment, they wouldn't be thinking about what we think they're thinking about.
No.
You know what I mean? And that, I think, is what's interesting about kind of the structure of this novel, is that like you have two friends who are such important parts of each other's lives, but like you get to kind of see that friendship unfold for those two people, even though it's interesting, Jane is in the first person and Fiona's in the third person. So you think that the book is about Jane, but it's actually really about Fiona and Jane. I think Jean just decided to do that for whatever reason. It was how she started writing the book. But I think what people are, so I guess the reason I told you that, Em, is because I was thinking about, I wanted people when they're reading this to think about their friends, or maybe to go to their friends and be like, maybe just like do an exercise, even if you're not a writer, to be like, how would I describe a moment with my friend, like in a situation, and maybe maybe two friends can describe the same situation and see how it was different. I don't know. That's
Well,
the
if
struggling
I,
English
if
teacher
I,
in me.
huh?
That's like the struggling English teacher in me.
I love you as a struggling English teacher. I was gonna say if I was starting that exercise with you, it would be like she was like, I was not surprised. And then you would be like, I was late. I was it was no surprise. Always. I'm grossly on time and Kara's
Well,
late.
I did this to mess
So
with you, but not to mess with you. I wanted you to know that I still wear it. Emma got me this watch that is a swatch because I like wearing swatch watches. This is a vintage one because she's a big Etsy girl that says, "Don't be
late.
too late," because that's your acceptance of me.
It's true. Don't be too late. Bestseller list and discuss it with us. And also sign up for book club to listen to the in-depth chat. Okay, so here's the synopsis. Best friends since second grade, Fiona Lynn and Jane Shen explore the lonely freeways and seedy bars of Los Angeles together through their teenage years, surviving unfulfilling romantic encounters and carrying with them the scars of their family's tumultuous pasts. Fiona was always destined to leave, her effortless beauty burnished by fierce ambition, qualities that Jane admired and feared in equal measure. When Fiona moves to New York and cares for a sick friend through a breakup with an opportunistic boyfriend, Jane remains in California and grieves her estranged father's sudden death, in the process alienating an overzealous girlfriend. Strained by distance and unintended betrayals, the women float in and out of each other's lives, their friendship both a beacon of home and a reminder of all they've lost. In stories told in alternating voices, Jean Chen Ho's debut collection peels back the layers of female friendship, the intensity, resentment, and boundless love, to probe the beating hearts of young women coming to terms with themselves and each other, in light of the insecurities and shame that hold them back. Spanning countries and selves, Fiona and Jane is an intimate portrait of a friendship, a deep dive into the universal perplexities of being young and alive, and bracingly honest account of two Asian American women who dare to stake a claim on joy in a changing contemporary America.
What a synopsis.
I mean, a
Tells
delicious
it right there.
flap. Honestly, sometimes I'll give books to people and I'm like, don't read the inside flap.
1,000,000%.
This one, it's so juicy. And so many beautiful words. And yeah, and I mean, I thought this was such a Bellatrix book just because what you were talking about, Kara, is like the kind of alternating perspectives in such a unique way. Like, one of our other books, I guess from last year now, that I have with me too is I Love You, but I've chosen.
You're obsessed with it. You're also obsessed with this book.
This book. But this is like also a Bellatrix book in the way that Fiona and Jane is, because I just feel like it breaks normal format. Like it's not necessarily linear. It's not following rules. And Fiona and Jane is the same way. Like I just think it's really original the way that she chose to tell this story. And I always love when someone's reimagining, timelines, or like what makes a novel, what makes something a short story. And like I love that Fiona and Jane, like it doesn't say what it is. It's not like I'm short that are breaking the mold.
Break the mold.
These are two
I mean, you could not find two more different books.
Seriously.
In a certain way. I mean, that's what's fun. It's like, I think a lot of the time people will ask us like, oh, how do you choose books for Bellatrix? And I'm like, well, if you look at December and you look at January, I can't give you an answer. Like, but I mean, but they're similar in that I think their only similarity is that their writing is very, like, both authors are very unique, have very unique voices and very unique point of views. And I think for Fiona and Jane, what I would say, I was thinking about this about Fiona and Jane. It's like Fiona and Jane is like watching a great television show about best friends that you get to like watch in one sitting, like 20. I mean, you can read this book over time because it is stories too, but you know, like I Love You, but I've chosen darkness. You know, I think we try to choose books that are clearly contemporary in that they deal with themes that are important to people right now, but they're not like on the nose. They're not like issues novels, you know what I mean? And so I think one of the things that Jean talks about is like there is like mental health stuff in Fiona and Jane. There is you know, issues of sexuality, but it's not about those things. The book is not about those things. And I think the same is true. And what you found so interesting about I Love You, but I've chosen darkness is like, it is really a book about postpartum, but it's like this very artistic and like experimental meditation on it. It's not like it's not a memoir.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I wanted to also read the quote from Fiona and Jane, the beginning quote, because I just absolutely love it. And if you know, Kara and we're always like, what's the go to the quote page, like if we're looking at a book, because I love seeing you know, just what a writer wants us to see before we start their story. And so the beginning quote in Fiona and Jane, it's by James Baldwin, and it says, "I have always felt that a human being could only be saved by another human being. I am aware that we do not save each other very often, but I am also aware that we save each other some of the time."
Mm.
And I love, first of all, I love that quote, but I also, I've read a lot of James Baldwin quotes and I've never seen that one. So
No.
I don't know if it's just me, but I found this so, I don't know, haunting, and also just such an interesting choice for this book. So that like also just really intrigued me with this one.
I you know, if you're not reading it along with us in the month. So it's just a cool app. So check it out. That's all I wanted to say.
Someone just asked, sorry, and now their name went away, but they wanted to know where the James Baldwin quote was from, and it's from Nothing Personal.
Which I also didn't know, but that's so one of the two other things. One, someone in the questions, because why not, we're here. Someone in the questions asked about First Kill, which is not to completely switch the conversation, but First Kill is a show that we are producing that was created by Victoria LaRue, which was a pick now I guess almost 2 years ago. But that show is going to probably be coming out in the late spring, summer. So please look for that on Netflix, which we're very excited about.
It was Dishing on Books that asked where the quote is.
Dishing on Books, my fave.
Yes, First Kill, you guys are gonna lose your minds over it. The short story is amazing, and we're just so excited for you guys to see something that we read and you know, helped bring to life. Because I mean, that's what we're obsessed with doing now, is just like, how can we bring all these amazing books to life?
Totally.
So that'll be out.
That. And the second and last thing I wanted to bring up, you know, we somehow, I think, due to fates beyond our control and a natural long-term obsession with one another, Joan Didion and Eve Babbitts died within a week of one another, which is truly bizarre. You know, it was just, how weird was it? Like, boom, boom.
I honestly couldn't believe it. And especially because I had said, I feel like the day after Eve passed away, I was like, well, you know, at least 2021 didn't take Joan. And then I got a text and I just couldn't, I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's a wrap on this year. Like we're finished. But I did, the only good thing was that I did fall back into rereading all of Eve and all of Joan and was just finding new treasure in each of them. Knowing
Do
that
you have, didn't you say you were bringing one? Did you bring one? Which slouching is that? Did you buy that recently?
I bought it this morning.
Oh my God, I love that cover.
I love this cover. If David's still here, David bought me a first edition Slouching Towards Bethlehem for my 30th birthday, and it's one of my most prized possessions.
It's the most gorgeous.
It's the most gorgeous, but no, I mean, Joan and Eve were the queens, and they will always be the queens. And honestly, I don't know if Bellatrix would even exist if we'd never read Joan and Eve.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think they would. I actually wanted to grab something. Hold on one second.
Okay.
There's a little, let me see. Oh man.
I wish the piece of hair would stay down.
Your hair?
Yeah, there's this like one piece that just likes to hang out facing up.
She's been there for years, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's really.
Oh, damn. God, I should have had this out. I had a version of Let Me Tell You What I Mean. That's like this little mini version that they published. That's amazing that I wanted to talk about, but whatever. Can you just read the,
Did you get one for me?
Always the question. Because
Kara finds cool stuff, but never thinks to get to.
Here's the thing about, here we go. This is, just two things. All the Jones are here, but this, first of all, no. What happens is that they will send us books sometimes, and Emma is a personality a bit more shrouded in mystery. What?
A leaf fell on the window. I think it was Joan.
Country girl. It probably was Joan.
It was
Could have
Joan.
been Eve though. There'll be another leaf very quickly. That's Eve. That falls right after it.
Really?
Yeah. But they'll send us books, and Emma, they come to me first, and then I send them to Emma. So that there are times where I have a book that Emma's really coveting that I forget to give to her.
Real.
This is my favorite cover, though, of all time of Jones.
Yep. So they made that in paperback now. I saw it today.
Oh, gorge. So can you read, wait, or is it in Bethlehem of T.S. Eliot as the opening, or is that, yeah, it is. Is it, or is it like Ecclesiastes?
I got Miss Peggy Lee and W.B. Yeats in here.
It's Yeats. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Can you read that? I know, it's like Proust, Proust, who knows?
Proust, Proust.
Can you read that, please? Because it gets me every time.
That one. Which one am I reading?
The Yeats poem, or the piece from it.
I feel like that's for you, Queen.
Okay.
Do you not slouching?
No, I have White. I thought the White Album, there was an intro in the White Album, but I guess not.
Well, I'm going to read the quote from Miss Peggy Lee because
please do.
This is more.
Please do.
I learned courage from Buddha, Jesus, Lincoln, Einstein, and Cary Grant.
It's the best.
Really good.
But the opening, so this version is from 1979. What is this? Who got me this?
Probably no.
You.
No, I didn't. I wish.
No, you might have. I don't know.
It's a lie as soon as I thought it.
No, but it's possible. You know, the first line of the White Album is, "We tell ourselves stories in order to live." The princess is caged in the consulate. The man with the candy will lead the children into the sea. The naked woman on the ledge outside the window on the 16th floor is a victim of acidity, or the naked woman is an exhibitionist, and it would be interesting to know which. We tell ourselves stories that it makes some difference whether the naked woman is about to commit a mortal sin, or is about to register a political protest, or is about to be the Aristophanic view snatched back to the human condition by the firemen in priest's clothing, just visible in the window behind her, the one smiling at the telephoto lens. We look for the sermon in the suicide, for the social or moral lesson in the murder of 5. We interpret what we see, select the most workable of the multiple choices. We live entirely, especially if we are writers, by the imposition of a narrative line upon disparate images, by the ideas with which we have learned to freeze the shifting phantasmagoria, which is our actual experience.
I miss her.
And people are, you know, it's like, that's why people, when she died, it was like, you know, the Matahari. Like, people texted you like your grandmother had died.
No, it's true. The amount of texts that I received, I was people were just blowing up my phone the whole day, and but I was honored. So many people were like, I saw Joan pass, and it made me think of you, and I was like, the fact that I'm being thought of in the same thought as Joan Didion uh,
Yes.
is, I mean, just makes my whole life.
It is true. It is true. I'm just looking through questions to see if there's anything that, thanks for doing live. Yeah. That's a good one. Someone asked what Rhodes' favorite book is.
I'll tell you what his favorite book is. It's Goodnight Moon, which I know sounds so obvious, but I mean, like, we have a lot of books laid out, and that's the book that he always picks up and like is trying to turn the pages. But last night I sent Kara a video. He picked up this and fully went like this and opened it. It was
Well, he knew what it was about.
and I was just laughing so hard. He just was totally pretending to read it. But yeah, he loves Goodnight Moon. That's been the jam lately.
He is going to be a well-read little boy, as they say.
Funny when you have kids and you start rereading children's books, and the ones you realize are so wildly inappropriate.
Oh my God. Well, it's the same as TV. Yeah.
Or weird. Like, even and I love Madeline, but I was rereading it, and it's like she has surgery for her appendix. Like, she's really, I mean, not, is it Madeline? Yeah, Madeline has.
Yes. Something
and,
is not right. Something is quite
like,
wrong.
sad. Anyways, it's just a very, like, it's the actual content of that book is very bizarre, and I never knew. You're just like, oh, they cried boo-hoo and this and that, and something's not wrong, and da-da-da. It's like, yeah, her appendix burst and she had to have surgery.
Someone once called to my attention that, like, Babar is like about an elephant that's literally takes over a town. And it's like, that in and of itself is like, God, that elephant has a lot of power. But yeah, Madeline scared the heck out of me because it would had that sort of element of like middle of the night scariness, which I hate.
Yeah, and there's also now there's a lot of there's a lot of like I was just given Madeline Goes to the White House, which is like, oh, there's all these other Madelines, but they're all just, they're very, I mean, I enjoy them, but I'm just like, I don't know if this is appropriate.
What would be bad if Madeline's appendix burst at the White House? That would be embarrassing.
Super embarrassing. What else? And then I think you and Jules got Rhodes Blueberries for Sal, which is
because
such
of Maine.
Hmm?
Because of Maine, we love Blueberries for Sal.
Sal.
That's one of the greats. Isn't it interesting, though? You've probably found this having a kid now. It's like what resonates doesn't really change.
That's true. Well, like Goodnight Moon. It's like, of course he likes Goodnight Moon. Like, it's tried and true.
It is precisely. Oh, someone said The Giving Tree. Oh, dishing. By the way, I just want to say, everybody should
That one is good, but yeah, it's pretty sad.
You know what I bought recently? You and I were together. Where God knows where we were, but I bought we were at that store. Yeah, I bought Aesop's Fables, which was really interesting to read again. And those are completely I mean, obviously they're fables, but they're completely timeless. Someone said they feel like they're on FaceTime with their best friends talking about childhood books, and that's the whole.
Good.
We're glad. Welcome to our FaceTime. Although neither of us really support FaceTime as a concept generally.
I know we're phone chatters. We like chat on the phone.
Like, don't surprise me with.
Also,
oh my God, gorgeous.
This is. I call Kara from the landline.
Love a landline.
I remember when I feel like I was 14 or 15. Like having a landline in my room was like my life is complete. Like, I had like one of those fuzzy phones, and then I had like the clear phone, and just to gab in my room was.
Do you remember what was I don't know if you had this, but was a huge thing was getting your own line in your family's house.
I don't think I had my own line because
I don't see you being able to have that.
My mom was definitely like listening.
You would have been like rolling calls.
Totally.
But that was like a big 65 probably.
First thing I ever bought with my money was like one of those vintage Barbie dolls at a flea market, but it was like in the box.
Isn't
And
it crazy how past behavior is the only predictor of future behavior?
hmm. um yeah, so and nothing has changed. I'm still like, I mean, I haven't gone to a flea market in so long now, but I've been perusing online for what my next doll is.
But they bring the flea to you, so to speak.
Well, I found all these places to buy like corners of the internet to buy dolls from that I'm just like, whoa.
I was
Better.
about to say the name of one of them that you told me about, but I'm not going to because I don't want to create competition.
I want you to. I have enough competition over there already.
Let me ask you.
So I'm not into Barbies anymore. Like I like them, but I'm more into like weirder dolls.
You've gotten into really freakier stuff.
Um,
So well, no. First of all, can you show the cover one more time just to remind people? Fiona and Jane, this is January. This is like what we call in the biz a CTA. This is a call to action. Buy this book. Trend Forecast 2022, Barnes & Noble is going to be the hottest store in America. Buy it at an indie, buy it at Barnes & Noble, do whatever you got to do. This is a really great read. It's a great read for January. It's if you're in a lot of the parts of this country, it's freezing, so read. The second thing I will say is,
I think everyone has an app store now. I don't know. Anywho,
you're like I'm not Elon Musk, but
but what I also
she's right. Everyone probably has an app store.
I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, most. But also, if you don't, you can watch us on here. You can watch us on my Instagram, Bellatrix Instagram, bookclub.com Instagram.
True.
Even so, yeah. Anywho, Fiona and Jane, January, get it, read it, tell us what you think. But also, if you've already read that, or maybe you're looking for something else, revisit some Joan Didion in honor. Slouching Towards Bethlehem, The White Album, South and West, Play It As It Lays, any Joan you can get your hands on, and tell us your favorite quotes, tell us what you think, tell us everything. And if you didn't read, she's queen.
Sorry.
And if you didn't read our last pick, I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness, it is absolutely fantastic. Was literally drinking coffee at night to keep reading because I had to just keep reading it. And this is a fast read.
We're gonna have to come back around. Maybe we'll talk to Claire because there's also the whole. I mean, the book is not about the Mansons. It just so happens her father was in the Manson family, and the book is autofiction, so it's like.
Sorry.
No, you go.
No, what I was gonna say, actually, something that I love about it is it weaves in the Manson murders, Big Pharma, kind of like all these themes that have been, big themes over the last however long. And she does it in such a subtle way. And I feel like, as someone that feels like they know a lot about California and a lot about those topics, she presented them in a way that felt totally new to me, which I love. So it's amazing, like the way that she's woven everything into the story. So I would highly recommend it. She also talks about the California in a way that was a little reminiscent of Joan Didion, and I just hated it.
Yeah. There's like a lot of, it's kind of like a travel novel. It's a what do you call it? It's not travel, like it's a journey novel for sure.
It's totally journey novel. Spans places and time, actually.
Boy, does it.
Hi, Brazil.
Oh wait, okay. I know how we're gonna close out.
Tell me.
I knew I had this one. This is not even mine. This is Jules, but so I have this version I want to read.
Oh yeah, please take us home.
Take us out. Take us out with a prayer of your choice. Quite literally. Here we go. If you know, you know. Okay. So this is the opening quote in Slouching Towards Bethlehem. And, you know, I don't know, changed my life when I read it. It's W.B. Yeats' poem. Turning and turning in the widening gyre. I mean, it's gyre. Turning and turning in the widening gyre.
I'm not reading it.
Radical honesty, baby.
I was homeschooled, so I know what words mean, but I'm not good at pronouncing them.
That's right.
And I was traumatized when I mispronounced the word crudité and charcuterie.
Oh yeah.
On a menu.
Well, if you have nobody else to talk about crudité with, how would you ever know how to
meeting?
You ever know how to say it?
I don't even like crudité, so how about that? But
you do like charcuterie, though.
I love charcuterie, but after mispronouncing those in front of actually a writer that I really like, I can't anymore. And I said,
you have me to bounce words off of.
I said Yeats instead of Yates.
But that doesn't make sense.
Well, I'll do it again. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. Another great book. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Near anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction. My sight. Somewhere in the sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it reel shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born. Whoa, boy. All right. Fiona and Jane, tell us what you think about it. I was going to be like, who do you, I think you're either going to be a Fiona or a Jane. I don't know. Maybe not. But thank you to the 2,000 plus people who tuned in with us today and made this FaceTime, you know, a luxury.
I know. Next time, maybe I can have the square without the writing on my face, but
if I could, I should have told you that you were going to say that because I predicted when we got off the phone.
We're going to be doing way more talks and way more of this. So please keep reading and yeah, read anything you can get your hands on. But that's definitely right. Try to.
And just watch Station 11 because it's really good. Sorry, I just had to plug that. Yeah, just if you love Station 11 the book, watch the show. Okay. Bye, Em.
Bye. Thanks, KP.